part 2 of how I became anorexic and bulimic and how I overcame it. Part 1 was about how I became anorexic and bulimic, and part 2, which is now, is about how I overcame it. So I started working in a gym and everyone around me was pretty into nutrition, and I was too. I was always into nutrition, but I really didn't have a clue about what good nutrition was about. So I found the raw food movement, and I couldn't hardly find any information on the raw food movement at all. I went to libraries, went to bookshops, everything, and there was just hardly anything on it. And if there was, I got it and I devoured it. So I went online and there was heaps of raw food forums. There's actually quite a few raw food forums, which was really impressive. And I found a couple and I got on there and I started to learn more about the raw food movement. And in the start I was having cacao and high fatty dishes, which for my eating disorder at the time were not good at all. In my mind I was like, this is the way, raw food is definitely the way that I'm going to cure myself of this urge to restrict my calories and to purge. But the high fat version that I'd found just did not feel right. I wasn't feeling that much better than when I was eating a lot of shit. I was starting to feel kind of the same, to be honest, because my carbs were so low. My brain fuel, my carbohydrates were barely there. I was eating these cacao, avocado, creations, which were just full of fat, excitotoxins, neurotoxin, and basically it was leaving me undercarbed and not feeling my best at all. So I'm jumping around with these raw food creations thinking, hey, hang on, this is raw food and I should be feeling really vital, I should be feeling amazing. And I just wasn't getting that. So I looked around further, I'm like, there's got to be something more to this. I know this raw food thing is the answer, but I'm just not getting, the results that I feel I should be. So I searched around, I went to a raw food picnic, there was a girl there, she was eating 10 mangoes in a row, and I was like, she was really glowing, I'm thinking, this sister, she knows what's going on, something's going on here, what is she doing? So I gave her a raw interrogation, and she just, told me all about Doug Graham. Before that, I'd only heard of Doug Graham via one of the forums, which there was a guy in there and he was totally writing off Doug. He was hating on him big time. And, when people hate on other people like that, that just for no good reason, the guy is promoting fruits and vegetables. Come on, how can you hate on someone like that? When people are hating like that, then I just sort of think, yeah, this person loses all credibility in my eyes. And they're not trying to help anyone, they're just trying to put someone down. So I researched further on Doug Graham because he was talking about Doug Graham. He's going, oh, Doug Graham this, Doug Graham that, he's this and that. I'm like, all right, buddy, just put some fruit in that mouth and carb up, will you? So anyway, I looked into Doug Graham and found, the most perfect lifestyle around. He recommended so much fruit, and I was always like, I can't have too much fruit because my candida is going to go crazy, which is totally wrong. It's an excess fat in the bloodstream problem, which I'm going to make a video about, so stay tuned for that. I got a consult with Doug. I went on basically Banana Island for 1 month, and after that I was like, found the holy grail. Woo. Yeah, I did my happy dance. I did my happy dance because I was feeling so vibrant, and for the first time in my life I didn't want to vomit. I didn't want to restrict my calories. I was seeing my skin clear up, I was seeing my eyes clear up, I was seeing my energy just go through the roof. I was basically just feeling like I'm just walking on air. I'm feeling amazing here. There is something in this lifestyle. And basically from then on, I just knew that that was it. I wanted to live the fruity, high carb lifestyle. And now I don't feel guilty after eating. I don't feel like I'm eating dairy. I don't want to vomit. I don't want to restrict my calories. I don't have dizzy periods or blood sugar issues at all. I don't have this inability to focus on things and this almost feeling like I'm going to faint all the time, which I had before. I was like a mess. I could hardly focus on anything. And that is not the case now. I've got focus. I am regularly happy for no reason. The urge to binge on crap to the point of pain, gone. Totally gone. You know what I mean? And it's all, a lot of people are like, oh, no, eating disorders, they're mental, people have got a psychological problem and rah, rah, rah. Okay, that That I really, really don't agree with. Maybe if that person's brain's been glucose restricted for long enough, for that many years, they may have got brain damage. I don't know, but possibly. But I'm talking about 99% of the people with eating disorders who actually are just undercarbed. I know this is going to sound like, oh no, that's too simple, blah, 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 blah. For most people that is that simple, because if you're getting enough glucose to your brain via carbohydrates, then it's going to function properly. If you're not, then it's not going to function properly. That's how it goes. But I hear a lot of people saying, oh, but how do you bridge that gap between, wanting to actually nurture yourself and get that glucose to your brain? Well, that can be difficult. For me, it came out of desperation, and I think this happens for a lot of people. That urge to you're just like, whoa, I don't know what else to do. I'm at my wit's end. I just need to change now. And for a lot of people, that's what does bring them to a healthier way of living. So for me, I had to change, or else I don't know where I'd be today. Honestly, I needed to get my head together, and I was getting to the point where I had so much pain attached to what I was doing that one day I just went, take a step back, you've got to look at your life. And when that doctor said to me, you're anorexic, your BMI is anorexic, and you got to change now. That was a real wake-up call for me. That was huge for me, and that was a turning point. And after that, I began to educate myself. I really wanted to look after myself really well, but I didn't want to put on weight. Didn't want to put on weight. That was it. That was everything. And so when I came to the raw food lifestyle, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be it. How can I put on weight with fruit and vegetables? No worries. This will be awesome. And it is awesome, but if you're coming from a background of undereating, of anorexia and bulimia, and you put on a little bit of weight, if your weight rises to a healthy level, that is healthy. It's just this initial period of adjustment that your body has to go through. It has to balance out. So it's important to remember that. And when I first started, my weight was, fluctuating, as I've said in other videos. But I knew that I felt so good. I didn't have this binging urge anymore. I didn't want to, vomit. I didn't want to restrict my calories. Oh, I didn't have to, because I was just feeling so satisfied. And I was starting to think, oh no, is this working? I don't know, I'm putting on a bit of weight. This might not be the lifestyle for me. But then this other voice came in and said, hey, everything, there's so much improvements. Your energy, your digestion, your skin, the urge not to binge or purge or restrict your calories, it's gone. And for me, that was worth so much. I was not going to give that away for some superficial thing as weight loss. And now I'm 20 kilos lighter. I eat all the calories I want. I never, ever, ever, cross my heart, swear to God, whatever, I do not restrict my calories ever. The last time I did it was years and years ago, and God, if you want to live an abundant life, then restricting something, like restricting real food, nature's gifts, fruits and vegetables, then you're not going to get it. Trust me, you're not going to live abundantly. You're still going to be in this deprivation, diet, merry-go-round mentality. So you've got to step off that, and you've got to carb up. So it's all about carving up. I'm just going to wind it up now. So you may have to get to a point in your life where you're experiencing so much pain from what you're doing now that it tips you over the edge into changing. Okay, that's what happened with me, and that's what happens with a lot of people. And then, then educate yourself. Follow people who are thriving on the lifestyle. Follow the high carb people. The high carb people are the ones who are happy and energetic and glowing, and you can have that too. But you have to be patient, and you have to keep the carbohydrates up. Alright, so that's my story, and I don't know what else to say, but I am a different person to what I was 5 years ago. Completely different. I don't know myself. My family doesn't know me. They're just like, you have changed a lot. So I've definitely found my happy place. I am eating disorder free, and you too can be as well.
Don't hurt yourself.